Welcome back. This is DonBest.com. This is the MMA Insiders, your weekly edition of everything MMA. Down here in Costa Rica is Nick Kalikas. I'm Frank Trigg in Las Vegas, Nevada. Nick, how you doing, bud?
Good, man. It's about to pour down rain, so if you guys hear some thunder, forgive me here. Costa Rica rain season.
it's not your kids banging on the tin roof?
No, no, unfortunately not.
Well, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. We have it again. The second week in a row, we're talking about the UFC. This one is UFC on Fuel TV number 5. Struve versus Miocic. It's in Nottingham, England, so it's on one of those weird time changes. It's going to be live. It's going to be shown on Fuel TV and on Facebook. So it's basically a free shot if you have basic cable. The main event, obviously, is Struve Miocic. The co-main event is Amir Sadollah and Dan Hardy. Now, Dan Hardy is from Nottingham and the most famous Brit to date, but lives in Las Vegas here in town and trains here in Las Vegas. He spent a lot of time with Frank Mir trying to get ready. We all heard about Mir having to pull out of his fight with Daniel Cormier over in the Strikeforce because he hurt his knee. But Dan Hardy said that because he's been working with Frank Mir, he's got a lot better at submission game, but I still think that Amir Sadollah is better at the submission game overall. The records coming in for this is a Sadollah MMA record of 6-3 with 2 wins via sub. Hardy has an MMA record of 24-10, 12 wins via KO. The problem with Sadollah is, and I've trained with him a few times here in Las Vegas, he has not lived up to the namesake that everybody has given him because he won one of the tough shows. The thing that everyone forgets is that when he went on that show, he had 0 pro fights. 0. Now guys have to have at least 3 pro fights before they show up on the show. Amir is one of the last guys to walk in there. He was a complete amateur. And he has been developed in the UFC to get better and better, but he hasn't quite lived up to it because he's still trying to get better. Unfortunately, I think that Dan Hardy wins this fight. Nick Kalikas, how do you think this line is going to be when you break it out? And how do you think this fight's going to go?
Well, I opened the line minus 165, and since that time, the betting public has bet Hardy. So I opened Hardy the favorite, obviously, and the betting public coming in that way. And man, I know you guys probably heard that thunder there. So I told just between raindrops, I'll try to get my words in here. So since that time, the betting public has come in on Dan Hardy, and I understand because it's his hometown. It's going to be pretty competitive on the feet. He's got that knockout power. He should, on paper, have an edge in this fight. But you know what? I think it's almost a pick 'em fight, honestly. I think Amir is a little bit busier on the feet. You mentioned he does have the better submission game. The wrestling's going to be close. Both of these guys are capable of keeping it on the feet, especially if they're not taking on a strong wrestler. So it's going to be an interesting, very competitive fight. And if it was in Las Vegas or anywhere in the U.S., I would make a very large wager on Amir Sadollah because I think it's that competitive. But since it's over in the U.K., I'm still going to bet Sadollah just a little bit smaller.
You know, and I find that very interesting, Nick, that you say that. The location actually makes a huge difference in these fights. And as a competitor, I'm telling you that when I was in the different locations, it makes a huge difference. I've been hometown heroed actually in the exact same arena that they're going to be fighting at. I beat a guy up, and at the end of it, they gave all 3 rounds to him. I couldn't figure out how it would happen, but I lost the fight because I was in Nottingham and he was a local kid. That's how it goes. So you understand that Dan is going to have a lot more push from behind, a lot more push, but because it is the UFC, they will have strict regulations with the refs and the judges, so he won't get hometown heroed, but he will have that push and that pressure that comes along with it. I would normally bet Hardy on this fight, but because it is a close to be a pickup fight, I'm kind of hesitant which way I'm going to go. I might stay with Hardy. I might leave it alone entirely because it is such a closer fight now that is over there in Nottingham. I would have thought that Dan would have came in as the underdog on this one, but obviously he didn't. He comes in as the favorite. Moving on to the main event, Stefan Struve, Stipe Miocic, 2 huge heavyweights. These guys are battling in for contention into the heavyweight title. They're trying to sort out up top with Overeem and JDS and Velasquez and everybody else is up there at top. And these 2 guys are trying to battle their way into this. Struve, MMA record, 24-5, 16 wins via sub. Miocic, MMA record, 9-0, 7 wins via KO. Former Division I wrestling competitor. Former Division I baseball competitor as well. Used to be a high prospect to go into the pro leagues for baseball. Chose MMA. I'm going to pick Miocic. Who do you pick, Nick? What's the line? How do you see this fight going?
Well, I opened Miocic around minus 275. Now, the betting public definitely coming in on Stefan Struve. You're seeing the line around 210, 215. I think it's minus 225 right now at Bookmaker. It's a pretty significant drop. The betting public coming in on Struve's ability. I just think he matches up bad with Stipe. Stipe has the ability to take this fight to the floor or keep it standing, and he's got such knockout power, and it's proven to be kind of Stefan Struve's kryptonite in the past, that knockout power. So I would definitely have to go with Stipe catching that chin and putting him out, even though Stefan Struve is definitely talented and improving, but I think Stipe right now is the man that's going to probably KO him and take a big step forward in the heavyweight division.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are our picks and our decisions, and I think that really with Miocic, that's the wrestling ability that's going to be able to push this thing to the front runner of it. That's Nick Kalikas down in San Jose, Costa Rica. I'm Frank Trigg up here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and this is DonBest.com.